Morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the member stream. How's everyone doing? Hi, James. We'll see you later. Mr. Clown, Delmar, Andy, Colin, Lucas, Jokernut, and Victor. How's everyone doing? Christian, hey Nathan, hey Weave. Let's go. Oh, I never set this up. I never actually angled it. I guess that's pretty decent. So another month. This is, what is it, member stream number 3? So we did June, July, and now August. Barely August. I sound a little tinny. Why do I sound a little tinny? Mic sounds off. Uh-oh. I don't know if I can fix that. How bad is it? Hey, York. Hi, John Paul. Hey, Gadget. Paul. How bad is the sound? Because I made a lot of changes. Robotic sounding Steve. Is this any better? Let's try this. Is this any better? No, it's not the wrong mic. I changed everything. Sounds like the mic is across the room. Oh, hold on a second. No, that should work. Hi, Charlie. That should be correct. The mic. Let me see. The sound sounds great. Your noise gate isn't running. I changed that, but it's not picking up this mic. What is it picking up instead? It's picking up a different mic. I didn't realize that. I'd been testing, but it's not picking up this mic. It's still a little weird, but it's listenable now. It's acceptable. Oh, it's hot though. Let me open my door and see if I can get some air in here. It's not as hot outside today, but it's warm in here. Yeah, I'm picking up the wrong mic. So how do I fix that? Hold on, give me just a second. This is HDMI 2. That's the camera. Oh, shoot. Charlie, that's a button. Hey, check out the new overhead view. Charlie hit that button. Okay, so why is this? It's got to be this camera that's picking up. It's just not picking up the external. No, it is this camera because that's where the input is. Why do you insist on going that way? There's nothing over there for you. Hey, Tracy. Yep. It's picking up that microphone. It's not taking the external mic input. I can fix this. Give me just a second. It's going to be kludgy, but I can fix it. Okay. Now, okay. Is that better? How can I? Okay, is that better? So I need to figure out what I did or how to fix it. And I know I can fix it. So, yep, it's the, oh, sorry about that. So what happened is I bought a new camera. I invested in the channel, right? I bought a new camera, and I'll give you a quick, let's see, quick look. I bought it's a Sony ZV-E10. And I bought it because it's relatively inexpensive and it matches my 6400 for the lens and battery. So, and then I moved the ZV-1 to overhead duty because the field of view I could get with this camera for overhead was better than what I could get with the lens, the kit lens on the E10. So moving it around, I didn't realize I must have to turn on a setting on the E10 to use the external microphone input. So the easy solution is just move my receiver to the overhead camera. So let me let Charlie out. And in about 1 or 2 minutes, he'll want back in. Okay, let's catch up. Much less room echo. We're good. So we're doing good. So this is the new setup for overhead cam. What's nice about this is I can zoom in if I need to, relatively easy, which I couldn't do with the GoPro. So the GoPro's an action cam, right? I was trying to force it in to using it as a camera on my stream, and it just wasn't cutting it. So I decided that I didn't want to deal with it. So I got a new camera, and now I have 3 very nice cameras that I have some flexibility in how I'm going to set things up. I just have to fix that microphone thing. So I'll fix that before tomorrow's stream. So anyway, yeah, I'm very happy with this view. I'm probably going to change up the way I mount this camera, but it seems pretty stable for right now. Let me turn my AC back on because it is warm. I'm going to close the door. I'm going to be, let me know if that ends up being too loud, but. So I'm still looking at a mini split system, but I'm waiting for the off season. Hope to get a better deal. I may upgrade my whole house AC and see if I can do it all at the same time. But. So, member stream. Trying to be a little more relaxed. We are going, I want to build a Death Racer. Death Racer is a radio controlled vehicle designed by, I think it's Michael Badley, and promoted in, I don't know what other involvement Sam Prentice has in it, but Sam Prentice I met at Murph and talked about it, and they had a few people there with these Death Racers. And as soon as I got back, I ordered some parts so we could build one. Now, I'm not doing this in the main stream series because I just don't have time before Earth to do it. So I figured this would be a good one, and those that aren't members can come in after this becomes public and see it, right? I made last month's member stream public yesterday, and I'll do the same for this one in about a month. What do we got, Patrick? What are we missing? If it's on now, I don't hear it. We should have music. Do we have music? What am I missing? Hey, Thomas. And there's Charlie. Right on cue. Oh, the AC. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate that. So, Death Racer. There is a video. If you search for the real Sam Prentice on YouTube, he has a couple of videos on, I can turn the music up just a little bit if you want. Has a couple of videos that kind of describe it. We're just going to dive into learning how to build it. Awesome. Is the music too loud now then? Go right there. So I printed parts. Bunch of printed parts. I decided to do this stream right after Sunday's stream. So this is almost fairly continuous printing to get this done, especially the TPU parts. And then I have a bunch of purchase parts that go for this. Let's go through a few of these things that are part of the build. So there's 6mm rod. This is for, so, is there a picture? Here we go. This is good enough. There is a picture. So this is what the vehicle, the RC vehicle is going to look like. Hey, Sanity, welcome. There is a tracked vehicle with a driver, and when you steer, the arms move, which is kind of cool. And there is this bludger, this arm with a weight on the end. And the goal is, the game is to run around an arena and knock the other players' heads off. And there's a switch hidden in the head that turns the vehicle off. So you disable a vehicle by knocking their head off. So, and there's some rudimentary instructions here, but I think they'll be good enough. We just need some fastener sizes and general layout of stuff, and we'll be able to go through it. Are you going with ABS or using some fancy filaments like Nero? I am going ABS. It's not probably the best choice for this, but it's what I can print reasonably well without going through and tuning for other filaments. We're going to see how it goes. Sanity, yeah, I went a little bit through my streaming setup because I had problems. So at the beginning of the stream, I didn't have a microphone. It was redirecting. It was using the built-in microphone on my new camera. So I have to go in and change a setting on that, I believe. So I'll fix that for tomorrow. But otherwise, the new overhead view, the higher resolution face view, and then our standard view, work area view. Do you have an estimate for how much do you spend to build one of this? I can probably kind of go through it on cost. The radio, I think was $60. I got this on Amazon. It's a FlySky 6-channel. I think the controller for the motors was about $40. The motors themselves are relatively expensive. There's a couple of versions of this. Let me get into that here in a second. Yeah, a high-tech version of Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Exactly. A mobile version. Road Rage Steam, yes. So there are two versions of this has come out. When I talked to Sam at Murph, there's only one version. It uses these Pololu gear motors. These are DC geared motors. And these ended up costing me about $80 shipped for the pair. Now there's a Pro version now, which is going to be a lot faster vehicle that uses regular RC style brushed motors with a gearbox. That I think actually ends up being a little more expensive, but it'll be a lot faster. But since I've already bought these, I'm going to stick with what I have, and I can always upgrade or change or build another one later. Are you turning to Talking Hands channel? Absolutely not. I'll always have this view at least. You'll see me. And then there is a servo for the bludger, the javelin. Is that right? What did you call it? Yeah. I think this was about $15 or $20. I got a faster version. What's supposed to be a faster end-to-end time, hoping that it can move that rod well. And then a battery. Battery was $15 or $20. Bearings were probably about $10 or $15. And then just miscellaneous things. Switches. So. Will pro, non-pro be different classes? I have no idea. I have no idea. You have a lot of spare RC parts laying around? I have a ridiculous number of RC parts, spare RC parts, but not a lot of things that I can really use in these builds. Since the original design for this was these Pololu motors, I didn't have a controller that would really control them. The remotes I have are all RC style, mostly 2-channel stuff. So, and then servos that end up being installed in other cars. I have radios, but I've been wanting a general purpose radio anyway as well. And this was, like I said, this was $60. It wasn't too bad. So that is those. We're not going to need most of that for a bit. We may need the bearings, and we'll need these 2mm steel rods for the tracks. So we're not going to finish this build today. I haven't even printed every part. I haven't printed the driver, and I haven't printed the stuff for the javelin, the bolt bludger, whatever. And I need to build this. I figured it was a good thing to hang out and work on. So, Colin, yeah, Sam's in the UK, so that's probably a big factor in parts choices. So, stuff has changed so much. I started from scratch with the Open RC F1. My old RC stuff is so out of date. I have some relatively recent stuff within the past 4 years or so, but most of my RC stuff is in the 1/10 scale racing arena. I do have a crawler and a couple other things, but hey, 007. Okay, let's just go straight here and start looking at parts. Actually, let's go to the manual. So this is essentially standard RC control, not Arduino-ish. Correct. Correct. Let's go here. So we have 100% printed drive, full printed track drive. Tracy, safety first. Where's my phone? Oops. Charlie, you're sitting right under me. I just stepped on his tail. He didn't give too much of a complaint, though, so it must not have been bad. My phone is off to the side. Speaking of phone, though, there is a possibility I may need to answer a call. UPS delayed some stuff for the solid fork build I have coming, and it's possible they may be calling me to pick it up. Hopefully they're just going to deliver it today. If that happens, I'll let you know, and I'll grab it real quick. Hoping to be a pocket mod. The current FlySky car controller was a revelation. So much nicer than my ancient radio. Yeah. Video. So there, Sam Prentice does have a video out there that he goes through some details of the build. I've watched it, so I have some idea. Am I in the right spot? Yeah, that's fine. But parts for the drive. So we're going to have the motors, some screws. Now, I missed this M3x50 flathead cap screw. I don't need them today. I'm going to use some Stealth Burner bolts, socket head screws instead. But I have them on order, so I'll be able to get them swapped out. We'll get more than just a label from the box. Yeah. Make sure you play the dancing RCF. I don't have that set up yet. I need to get it set up. I need to get that clip. I need to get that clip and get it set up as a hotkey in OBS. Or just have it come up when I hit mute. Okay. The main track drives are powered by these Pololu 37D motors. Other motors will fit, but check the torque. First, let's fit the motor. The motor simply fits into the 37D motor frame and is held in place with 4 M3x8 screws. Charlie, you can't lay right there. I'm gonna end up stepping on your tail. He's moved. So we have drives and the main body. We're not going to need that quite yet. Oh, there's a motor mount. We're going to need all of these. We're going to need a pile of tracks. I don't think we'll need that yet. There's the other motor mount. This stuff. Put these over here. Not gonna need this yet. And the motors. Where did I put? Oh, I'll put them back in here. Printed in ABS. Yep. We are going to try ABS, even though I know it's not the ideal, probably not the ideal filament for this, filament choice. We're still going to try it. And I printed everything all black because I'm not 100% sure. I have an idea what I want to do for a color theme, but I'm not 100% sure what pieces I want to be the different colors. So, see you, Nathan. Thanks for being here. Okay. I'd build one, but I'm the only one in Skagit to have one. Yeah, it's not as much fun when you don't have someone else to run against, right? Print the head in TPU so it absorbs the hits. I'm thinking of doing kind of a Voron theme, just because, along with a having my logo on it. I'll show my logo tomorrow, or kind of my thoughts on a logo. I got some inspiration, and then Jared on the team helped me clean it up. So stay tuned. But I think I'm gonna put that on the side along with the Voron logo, and I might do like a Voron cube for the head. We'll see how that turns out. Okay, M3x8 flathead. Let's see if we can use this. So, according to this, there we go. That's gonna go like that. That works. Yes, I am going to try to use the ES15. These are stainless, so they don't stick at all. That's what I have the most selection of in flathead screws, so I figured I'd just go with stainless. Make the head Charlie, no one would want to hit it. I thought about that, but I don't have, I don't have time. That could be if someone is good at modeling and okay. Then that could be a future change. Nero has a great printer. I'm turning a printer on. Did I miss something? Okay, one of these is attached. Hopefully I got I guess there's only one way these can go, so. So I think just Nero starting to disassemble his Cheaty yesterday because he didn't find the power button. Oops. So tomorrow is going to be the last stream of a year of streaming for me. Oh, that was pretty cool. As I think I did my first, I started the Trident build after it was released. It's only been a year since Trident was released. That's crazy also. I started the Trident build on September 1st. Okay. To be fair, there it does have two power buttons. One is aptly hidden behind huge arrows hidden behind huge arrows pointing at it. I'm gonna do some assembly here. It says soldering wires on the cable, but I think I'm gonna save that for when I know how long they need to be and stuff like that. So, and I also marked just in a spot where I can see it but won't be seen, marked the sides because I didn't wanted to easily see which ones I printed with what. There, and oh, I guess they don't matter for those, but these are marked for the sides, and here's this side that I'm working on. Hey, all a bit late. I made it only 30 minutes late because the card payment at the grocery store was down. Hey, Dominic. Missed your earlier streams on Discord or whatever, but I'm pretty sure it was there for the first YouTube. Yeah, so the very first one I recorded in Discord and then uploaded to YouTube. And the next two, I think I did a dual. I was in Discord, but was streaming to YouTube. And then I think after that, I gave up on trying to have YouTube be part of chat, or Discord be part of chat. I believe it's almost been a year since I fell. Yeah. Last stream. Last stream of the year of streaming. Okay. This thing goes in here. I think this thing goes in here like so. Is that right? Or does it go like this? Oh, okay. So looking at this is like this, and this goes in like this. Comes in from the other side. this. I think you did V0 stream before. Yeah, I don't really I never uploaded that to YouTube. So in, what was it, June or July a year ago, I built a V0, an LDO V0 kit on Discord and recorded it, but I didn't do it well. There's only one side of the audio. And I never uploaded it because the footage is kind of useless. It never got to YouTube. So that, I guess, is technically the first thing I did. But okay, next, after soldering, fit the motor assembly with M3x10s. Oh, why are we doing? Oh, we got to put the motor, the printed gear on. Ah, this guy. It gets a piece bolted to it. It gets one of these. This is a 6mm flange coupling. Brian Murphy, what kind of RC remote is that? It's a FlySky FSI6. So this little coupling bolts to here, and then this goes on the end of the motor. A year of streaming, a year of Trident. Good thing I'm finally building one to join the rest of my Vorons. 250 cubed with space gray frame. Awesome. I have a 250 that I need to get busy on building. I have a FlySky car controller. Really happy with it. Little use so far. Good. Okay, I think this will work. Oof on these couplers. Are they not very... Oops. I need to let this float a little bit. Holes aren't lining up quite perfect. There we go. What material did you print the important stuff, aka gears, everything right now? Plus you calling me Dominic. Well, yeah, I see the name there, and I could call it DJ. What do you prefer? I will call folks whatever they prefer. Fun fact, we were going to use those for the printed 80-tooth gears on V2 at one point, but they weren't concentric enough. Oh, okay. That's good to know. Everything is ABS right now. Everything. Well, the tracks are TPU. And the tracks are a cheap Pryline TPU off of Amazon. It's a little harder than I'd like. Got this one done. I'm going to go ahead and do both of these. Dominic's okay. Okay. Call me Murph. I will try to remember. Careful what you wish for. Okay, let me see what we got here. Oh, fun. I got company coming down. Not necessarily to visit. They're going to an event. They're going to end up here a little early, and they're just going to have to wait for me to get done here. Mike, you can call me Steve Builds. I won't remember that. How is the buggy coming along? Just started printing it here. I need to get back to it. I'm hoping this is a good kickstart to working on that. I need to finish printing the parts. Okay, now I need whatever grub screws. Holy moly, they included a lot of grub screws. I'm not going to Loctite this yet either. I have a feeling I'm going to end up doing a complete rebuild of this before I'm done. Watched someone streaming in Discord, Gen Voice, last night without a mic. Killed me not being able to say anything. Yeah. Is there a Discord where people can possibly plan, schedule local events? Well, if you're talking about, well, I mean, any of the regional channels, if you're talking about Voron or whatever, but I don't know otherwise. I have not acquired a taste for grub screws, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so this goes on to the flat side of the motor here. I don't know how far it needs to go on, so I'm just going to let it go on all the way. And this is going to mesh against here. I think we'll end up hopefully sneaking in there with a screwdriver and fine-tuning that mesh at some point. Clean my glasses. They're only tasty if they come pre-Loctited. These didn't, so. Has anyone here had issues with Revo thermistors? Had one of the first batch of Revos with a weird spike periodically, and just recent the one on my. It's a known problem. Contact E3D support. You should be able to get it replaced. I had one fail as well. So right now, death racers are mainly branching from the Voron community. Not at all. I don't think so. There's a few of us building them, but this is really a wider 3D printing community thing. It didn't start in Voron, or it's not even really trending hugely, I don't think. Steve's going to go to OCD and spend 3 hours setting pinion backslash. I might. Maybe not for the first iteration of the build. Okay, this is on here, so now we can, well, and I put it on that one. Okay, we'll put it on this one. To be fair, anyone with a 3D printer needs something to print that isn't a new print or a printer upgrade. Absolutely. I need to do more of not 3D printer printing. E3D has replaced them both, which is nice. It's odd that by the release of the Revo Voron, they didn't have it under control. I have no idea what the story is on it. Okay, this goes in here like so. Now we can thread this in. With the pins. What do we got? We have three other printers to finish. Well, once your printers are finished, these just thread directly into plastic, which it's got a lot of threads. I think it's okay. Oh, that one. Oh, that one might need to be a little longer. Unless there's there's a different fastener that goes on there. I don't know. I'll leave that one out for right now. So we end up with that. I guess let's build one side first. Seems like it's a pretty widespread problem. Glad I'm not the only one with issues. I have spare Revo, so I swapped in a new one while I wait for the last one. I haven't tried the replacement one that I got from E3D. I had another one that I put in there. I figured I'd put some hours on it and see if it ends up failing. ERCF is after that. I'm waiting on a model for a mold for a friend for some poly feed of some sort. Okay. Darn you, Steve, you made me just order parts for one of these. Yeah, I think it'll be a fun little thing to play with. So we're gonna fit 4 of these bearings in here now. I guess this is where I'll really see my print settings are good. And that went in there nicely. Not too loose. Oh, that one's a little loose. I spoke too soon, but that's okay. That means that this side goes in here. And just from feel, that actually feels reasonable on gear lash. So, and that goes on there. This is where I don't have the proper fastener, so I'm going to fake it. I'm going to fake it with some socket head screws. And I don't think, I have a feeling my ES15 is going to struggle with this. Oh. Yep, that's where it ended. Yep. So we will finish that off with a regular driver. We probably want to go slow on this anyway so we don't heat it up too much. So what is the max length of the motor cage area? I'm not sure what you mean. Are you talking about this area in here? We've got, this area is about 95 millimeters, maybe 94. I'm gonna have a workout here. My forearms are gonna be killing me. I might be a good idea to go grab a real drill. I'm just screwing around, exactly. One, done. That actually feels fine. You don't want that mesh to be tight. It's got just a little bit of play. So the question is this view useful anymore? I'm a little worried. That's my best camera. Probably easier with a traditional Allen key. Yeah, I could just spin it, huh? I don't know if I have one handy. Nice thing about this is it makes the that joint there, should make that joint strong. A real drill is a pencil. Reel to reel, yes. Okay, one done. Oh, I got that. Thought I heard something. That one fits fine. That one fits even better. Got a couple more of these. Fortunately, Amazon is going to be able to come to the rescue, and they actually have the 50mm screws. Situational, sometimes yes. Right now, top view is better. Top view is better. That's all as far as it makes it. I made it a little further. Do I have a... Oh, where would I have that? I have no idea. I thought maybe a LDO toolkit from one of the kits would work well, but I have no idea where those might be. Building my 2.4 R2 made me go and dust off my old RC tools. Man, oh man, I love these screwdrivers. Yes. So I love RC quality tools. That's almost all of what I use. I mean, case in point, these are MIP Thorpe drivers that are just really nice. Should look at the Festool CXS. What is that? Let's see. CXS. Festool, it's probably expensive. CSX. Yeah. $325. Just first link. Ouch. Let me see. Checking to see if I have a toolkit handy. I actually don't. That would have been where it would be. It's the drill kitchen installers like using, as it gives you very good control over how much pew-pew you send into the screw. Milwaukee has something just like that Festool. I have a little DeWalt gyro, small voltage, whatever screwdriver. It's at work though. That's what I'd reach to probably if it was handy. Don't you have the Weeha Rainbow Allen key set? I do not. And I don't know where... Do I have a... I mean, I've almost exclusively used these tools. I don't often have to do something like this. Not often at all. Is this actually going? Yeah, slowly. 0.5 millimeter per turn. I got a set, I just don't know where I hit them all. I don't use them, so they end up just kind of sitting somewhere. I have Allen keys, I just don't have an easy access to them. The ES15 doesn't have the torque for this. I started them with the ES15. Okay, there we go. Oh, and Charlie wants out, so. Next, we'll fit the wheels. The wheels go through. Watch out for the indents to prepare the track. Make sure they are square and aligned. They are now. Fit the covers. I'm not going to fit the covers yet because I haven't printed them and I'm going to want to customize them. Okay, let's put some tracks together. What did you do with the set RCF sent? Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. But what did I do with that? That is a good point. It's in the... Okay. Thank you. I will use those for the next one. I will use those. Okay, tracks. Go this way, I guess. What's that text? Oh, yep. Okay, tracks are TPU. This is a Pryline, no name, fairly hard TPU. Most of this is test printing. So I think they turned out pretty well though. And they fit. The little rods here fit in them. So these go like this, and then these rods are too long, but they go in with some friction, which is good. There we go. All the way in, and then I'm going to try just marking these so I know how far out I pull it. I say pull it out. just a couple of millimeters and then cut it off. So I have some of my other shop. And then push it back in. Now, does this end up being enough to do 2 of these? No. So I end up with extra on the pins. Careful with the stabby things near soft bleedy bits. These aren't sharp. We're good. There we go. And I guess maybe we just kind of throw all these on here and then cut them. Steel or brass rods? These are steel. Now the instructions say brass would work as well. Oh, those poor side cutters. Yeah. These are an old, just cheap old things that I use for this kind of thing, and they've still got good. They're still fine. There we go. And we get to do this for 30 times. And I do have playing around with them, so let's cheat and get 4 more done here. Kind of cool. Some side cutters out at work. I refer to them as my trusty rusties. Yes. I'll put this over there. Some more of these out. Oops, backwards. Bust out the knife picks. Those don't have cutters. And what am I going to do with them? Kevin, Steve, I have to stop watching these. Last thing I need is another project. Yes, the first thing you need is another project. I've got a billion of them. I need to let everyone else share my pain. Those are all going in about the same. Now that you know what had to be cut off, wouldn't it be easier to cut them before inserting them? That would be smart. That would be smart. That would be smart. What if I did that? They end up a bit short for If I use the same reference one, I'm not going to get in trouble with that, I think. Come on. Yeah, I think that's probably a smart choice. I'm going to just mark these and cut them, though, that I've already done. I'm going to pull them out and put them back in. I don't know what's quicker. This is... I feel like this might be a little quick. Probably not as quick as cutting them ahead of time, though. And not as consistent. Definitely not as consistent. I'll let Charlie back in here in a moment. Yeah, quicker to do it ahead of time. Thanks for the suggestion. Leave them poking out for more death. Okay, let me let Charlie back in. How's the Orange V2 going? It's almost done. I just need to do panels. That's about it. By the way, Steve, I'm thinking about buying a Trident right now. Either project, I have all the parts ready for it. Then I have to finish. Awesome. More Tridents. Yes. I wonder what kind of project I can use these cutoffs for. More Trident cereals, yes. My E3 to switch wire conversion is still in printing. 2.4 gave up. Uh-oh. These, oh, I'm just pushing them against the front of my build surface here. That's kind of fun to play with. And then this isn't enough of them, but goes around there. Okay, so let's cut a bunch of these pins now, using this one as the template. Are there more V2 or Trident serials being generated? Quite a bit more V2. That is still the go-to for those. I want to be able to see a little closer what I'm doing. Push it real good. That's what my extruder couldn't do anymore. Well, I have Trident here. It's fully built in printing, but no serial. I stopped carrying after my first serial. You know, I feel that because my dirty secret is I only have one serial Trident as well. But I'm gonna fix that because I keep wanting more Trident serials, so I'm gonna serial all of them I have. But for the most part, I have one serial per printer style I have. Ordered my Trident last week, which they had put the 250 out first, but I can't wait to get the kit in. I'll be relying heavily on the Trident series. Awesome. This is going to take a bit. What's the OD of those pins? 2 millimeters. 2 millimeters. They would probably be, I mean, you could modify or drill out the afterburner hinge and they would work. Okay, let's put a few more of these together. VT706. That's awesome. I don't know what serial number we were at when Trident was released. Who has the most serials? That's a good question. I have no idea. I know there's a lot of people with a ton, a whole fleet of Vorons. You can use the cutoffs for door hinge pins, but you'll need to build a lot more printers to use them all. Yes. Okay. Oh, let's go this way. It's a little easier to handle. What is that? Nothing. Oh. Yes. The package I'm waiting for. I got an email status saying it's scheduled for delivery today. Oh. There's 30 of these, 30 tracks per side. Kellogg's has the most. Okay, 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. That's when we'll be done with one track. Then it will be delivered by 9 p.m. As long as it gets delivered today, I'm good. As long as it gets delivered today, I am good. Ay, ay, ay. Yes, I'm staying on track. Scratch it there. Two more. Now one needs to be a little longer just so we can actually grab it to disassemble the thing later. I think you can push from the backside as well if I needed to. But I was one short of cutting them anyway. We're gonna need, let's count these out. This is like an Ivan Miranda project at 1/10 scale instead of, yes. That new printer he's building, does anybody have any details on that? Is it gonna be Core XY or? 5. $10. 15. 20. 25. There's 30. And I need one more for this side. And this one I want to cut just a little long. Just for now. I may cut it down to equal length later. I think he saw Dr. D-Flow's video and said to himself, I can do that. And red PLA, yes. Could you bundle them up and cut them with a rotary tool? Probably. There. So that one's a little long. I can get a thing on it. Are any of these sticking out to where I can grab them? Yeah, that one is. Okay, so that is one track. That's not the one I wanted to cut short. That's okay. I need one more. I need to put them together. That's okay. I got it. And an Ender 5 is not Core XY. I know. I know this. It is if you change it into that, what is it, 0G? Okay, so this goes around here. And this goes in. So, there we go. Aha! Neat. I think it's an Ender 5 style, but with a stationary bed. Okay. I mean, it makes sense. You don't want the belt length that's going to come with that. Very cool. Well, the red tank is lurking in the background of the frame build video. Yes. How much backlash proper printing got for calling his moving portal a Core XY? Why? That guy is really cool. I got to chat with him a little bit at Murph. I love his videos. His delivery and style is, I like. I think he does a good job. You can also turn the Ender 5 into a Trident. What is it? Golden Jaguar has done that, right? Okay, we need to cut all of these down so we can build the second setup. But this is kind of satisfying to play with, although I know I'm going to drop it at some point. That's going to have to come off of there in order to bolt it to the frame too. He's a Dutch guy, so he's a natural. Super nice guy. Okay, bear with me. This is going to take a little bit of time. I'll drop, see how many I drop on the floor. That's one. That's why he built his CR10S5 into a moving portal called a durability drop test. Yes. Hey, Ludwig. Hi, John. About halfway there. I would put the pins between 2x4 or 1x2 and have fun with an angle grinder. Yes, but that would be messy. And this is not taking that long. How long have we been going? About an hour and 20 minutes. These are not critical. Maybe just over the edge of bearing stack. What do we got going on? So, printer problem. Missed it. So we were talking about lighting on a stream or two ago. It's not going to be here in time for today, I mean, obviously, but I have some additional lighting that's supposed to be delivered today. So we'll have a few things to try on tomorrow's stream. A better microphone setup and a little better lighting. last few. Five more. Belt length mismatch after careful measuring. Belt length mismatch after careful measuring, and everything was seated on the pulleys and stuff when you measured. I went ahead and bought a Elgato panel light. I like the idea of being able having full control over the color temperature and brightness, and I didn't know if I wanted to deal with gambling on if any of the knockoffs were going to be sufficient. So I went with the real stuff. Okay, those are done. I'm gonna keep that as my template. I only dropped one. And we've got, so we have these, all about the same length. Next belt. I can recommend a Stream Deck. Yeah, that's coming. I've been using this guy, and it's really handy, but I think I've been eyeing the Stream Deck. So I think that's coming, so I can play around with a few more things. Okay, here we go. What power are your reading glasses? These are 5 times. These are 5 times. Let's see here. Do they make my eyes look funny? The configurable display is so nice and handy. All of us use it now at our channels. Yeah, I mean you're just helping me decide it's gonna be on the list. Setting myself up as a full-time YouTuber. No, but I tend to dive into hobbies and I tend to dive in. That's just more diving in. A bit of magnification. Yeah, the 5 times are really nice. I mean, can't leave them on looking at other stuff. I mean, I gotta lean way into the monitor to read while they're on, but it's worth it. Put away the readers a bit while looking at the camera. Your eyes will be huge. Yeah. Come on, there we go. I'm pretty happy with how these TPU parts printed. I mean, all these pins are going in nicely with some good friction. Nothing wrong with wanting to do something properly. That is true. That's a good way to put it. That's the whole reason I just went ahead and bought a new camera, because I don't want to, I was trying to fit the other camera in where it's not really a good fit, and it was just causing frustration. So, and I've been really happy with my other cameras. Hey, Troy. Well, it's a bummer to have a family event canceled, but I'm glad you're here. Christian, how far off are your belts? Is it a lot, or is it just a little bit? Oops. And Duggar, there was a major cancellation yesterday here in Berlin. It feels like 1 to 2 teeth and like something I can easily compensate for. So just, I mean, this is a very not likely thing. You're not accidentally using a 16 tooth pulley on one of the AB drives, are you? That would be 4 millimeters, 2 to 4 millimeters. Oh, that'd be more, wouldn't it? Oh, come on. There we go. Yeah, if you've already put them all on the Z drives, unless one of those is odd as well, it's unlikely, but something to check at least. Almost done. These do go on here pretty easy. I either miscounted on the links or I miscounted on the pins. What do we have here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. I miscounted. 7, 8, 9, 30. Instead of fighting with that, we'll get this last bit of them together first. Okay, last one. Okay. I'm not going to put the, well, I can't yet. We got to finish assembling the other drive. But I'll wait on that. Okay, 2. Okay, so there's 1 extra here. That's fine. We'll leave that over there. Let's get this together. Back to here and oops, shoot, tweezers. That one did not go. I have this backwards or upside down or something. It must be backwards. Yeah, that must go that way. Okay. Oops. It's like the OD for all the Z are identical, and the AB are identical, and not identical with Z. Oh, correct. That would be, that's good then. At least you checked. Do you have to solder on the motors, or do they have screwed contacts? Solder. I don't expect to actually hit wiring today, and I want to kind of get an idea of wire routing and how long they need to be. So I figured I was going to hold off on putting the wires on them. We'll see how that works. See how that works out. These are all, I'm really pleased with how everything's fitting together though. I didn't do any scaling on the ABS parts. None at all. One, two, three, and one more. I'm glad I have these 50 millimeters for stealth burner. Got to step out for a bit, take the kiddos to a friend's, and drop them at the pool. Thanks for stopping by, Chris. That's as far as that'll make it. Let's go this guy now. As suggested. That's a lot easier. I think the design was intended for Pet G. John Pollock, member for 4 months. What is the approximate cost of kit? There isn't a kit for this, but I think we were chatting about the cost of the individual components, and probably somewhere around $200 is what you can probably expect to have into one of these. Oh, well, I'm first layer. I miscounted something when I belted the third time. It was a lot easier than the first, so it might, okay. And sure, because the tension is different where the map and the train don't match. Is Ender wire worth doing? If you have a Ender 3 right now and want a little fun project, sure, it's worth doing. there's a follow-up I'm going to do to my Ender wire build. I'm going to do a standalone video. I've taken some footage of it, but I'm not done a standalone video yet, so it's taking a bit.
both in getting my mental space to do it and learning how to fit things together. But I'm planning a follow-up on the Underwire series, just to polish it off. It'll print, that kind of thing. YouTube's app for Amazon Fire Stick sucks. Have to stream from my phone because it can't see the members' streams. Well, that's a bummer, Phil. But thanks for being here. I wouldn't seek out Underwire as a build, as in going out and buying an Ender 3 and that. But if you already have one, it's probably worthy. So they've improved it since the first one. The whole Fire Stick experience sucked. I've never, woo, there goes tool. I've never owned any of the Amazon devices. Noticed today the member streams don't work with background playback on my iPhone. All other streams work fine with audio only in the background. Member streams there's a lot of things that are interesting about them. How is notifications for folks? Because it looks like I get about the same number of people. Right around 40 people watching every member stream. So I've got to, either the notifications are consistently bad, or this is just the number of people who want to watch it live. I guess I'll see by what kind of feedback I get afterwards on who might have missed it. It worked? Okay. Received notification of upcoming member stream yesterday, but nothing today. Well, I set it up yesterday, so I wonder if that's what it was. I set it up yesterday, probably about 6 my time. I had to take the picture, and that's why I did the post before, to try to give people a double heads up. I don't think they show them well. I think you're right, Linus, or yeah. I don't think they do a good job of, like you said, make them easy to find, get to. Okay, that is together. So where are we at next with this? There are 30 tracks, printed in TPU. Hardness isn't that important. Tracks are held together by the 50mm rods. What length did I buy? Because I couldn't double these up. You say they're 100mm. Oh, we'll bring Charlie back up here before we're done, Ken. Okay, all about the tracks. So the main frame can now be added. This simply bolts on using 12 M3x10 cap screws. So we're going to see what this takes to remove. Do I have a thin, a small piece I can use? Let's try this. There we go. There. Track off. And then That's the outside. And we're gonna go front wheel drive, sure. All right, like that. YouTube should show them among the normal subscription list. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so that's gonna go like that, and then we need the main body, and it's gonna go on here like this. And get held on with 12 M3 by 10s. Now there is another version of this. There's a Pro frame that I didn't print yet. So this piece, the Pro frame, instead of these printed feature, this rod or half round printed feature, it's a hole and you use a 10 millimeter or 6 millimeter rod around there to strengthen the whole thing. I didn't learn about this until just a couple of days ago after I've printed this, so I'm not gonna go with that yet, but I may reprint it. We'll see. Wow, that's interesting. Those holes are not... Why are those holes not 3 millimeter? Everything else was going fine. Feel like they're... I feel like they should be. Is there a comment about motor wires in the instructions? Yeah, they route through here. Ensure the motor cables route through the holes on the mainframe. Yeah, but I'm kind of assembling and getting layout here right now. No heat set, not Devoron standards. I'm gonna go grab my drill because I'm gonna drill all of these out. Because these are not sized right. I'm gonna thread these in and then they're gonna try to strip to get through. So I think I'm just gonna preemptively drill all of these holes out. So I know I don't have a dancing RCF yet, but it's coming. So I'll just put you on mute for a second. I'll be right back. Okay. I haven't yet. I got busy prepping for everything else. So here, let's actually use this view. There we go. Okay, now we'll try this again. Screws should go right through. Yep. All right, like that. Yes, I will get that set up. I just didn't get to it. This is going to look like a little vehicle once this is done. Right there. Yes, thank you. I saw that notification on my other computer. I don't see notifications on this computer because it's in streaming mode. Steve, this Death Racer is shaping up to be a great build. Got to go. Thanks for being here, Derek. Have a good day. Hey, Golden Jaguar. How you doing? I mentioned to you earlier, we were talking about Ender 5s and, oops, I forgot these, and Trident conversions. Had you made one out of that, or was it a Tronxy? It was one of those, right? Okay, this is... Got to build 2 of these now. My daughter wants to knock my head off. Awesome. Okay, let's see. Close this stuff. Once you're done screwed this together, you can fit the tracks over the drives and secure with the last 50mm bar. This is the main drive complete. Okay, well let's put the tracks on. I want the, let's go here. I want the exposed end of these tracks to be to the inside. So I'm gonna put this around like this, which may make it difficult to insert that last pin. Maybe I insert it from the inside. Here we go. There. Perfect. Tronxy into the Trident. Okay, not the Ender 5. Got it. Do I have one more pin out here? Is that this guy? Yeah. Oh, come on. Where's the... There we go. Okay. Nice. I didn't do anything face when Steve came back. Someone a year ago or so converted an Ender 5 into a 2.4. That'd be a pretty small build, but that'd be fine. Okay. This is awesome. This is really fun. The tracks seem very, very capable. I think I'm going to cut that one short. This is the long pin here that I left. I think I'm going to cut them short and just push from the back to get it apart when I need to. Awesome. Got all the parts in to build the NXK3. Fun. Be curious how that goes for you. So much rail cutting to do. Okay, on to the next part of the build. What? That's funny. The instructions stop. The instructions stop here. Well, I've got CAD. Does it feel like it gets good grip? No, not at all. But I can do this without too much trouble. But this is pretty slick too, so we'll see. Run it on the asphalt for a while, get some wear on the tracks. Do a sweet burnout. If the motors will do it. Okay, we have more parts. So where do we go with this? We have a servo holder and we have the main body here that I think goes like this. I think that goes like that. And I need to print the seat and the driver. Yeah, I have the CAD. I'm going to open it right now. Let me close Fusion on the other computer. I'm going to check to make sure my package I'm expecting is showing up in the tracking system. Yep, out for delivery. Yay. Okay, that's closed. So let me start up Fusion here. Okay, Death Racer files. I don't think this is the one I wanted to open. I imported the F3D file and the file. They're the same data, but this F3D file is easier to go through, so let me open that one. Been so long away from RC, amazing. No crystals get changed to swap channels. Yeah, the spread spectrum stuff is really nice. So what attack thing will you do on that bot? It's a battle bot. Well, it's a Death Racer, so it's fixed. So here, what do they call this guy? Find it in the browser. The bludger. The bludger can be mounted either horizontal or vertical. So what do you folks think I should do? Horizontal or vertical? So The vertical one swings in an arc side to side, like this. The horizontal one swings in an arc in this plane. Can you do a T100 at the tip and melt through the other bots? Let's see if it shows it here. The whole idea here, let's go to, let's find this. Let's get rid of the head. So there is a switch here. This is that switch. And the head, let's put this back. It won't isolate. Oh, interesting. Wonder why I can't isolate that. Huh. Anyway, the head is shaped such that it comes off and flips that switch. Yeah, I think horizontal is going to be better too. Okay. I will keep with the horizontal design. So let's get rid of that one. So we'll go with this. I haven't printed any of these parts, but we are going to work on... I haven't worked in this CAD much. It's a little weird. We're going to work on attaching these servos to this part. What am I missing? Is everyone seeing Steve's video break up, or is it just me? It might have broken up as it was downloading, as it was caching the files. I have got a box of the appropriate servos here, so let's grab a couple of fresh ones. Hey, Killer Prince. I got servo hardware, the servo. What CAD package do you use usually? Fusion 360. Just when you open Fusion, only a couple of glitches. Okay. These are, I think the servos called out in the BOM. And all these do is make the arms on the driver move when you steer, which is kind of cool. So this piece, here, let's go here. This piece goes here, and then these are gonna mount right like that. So using the hardware that comes with them, which means probably the screwdriver that small hardware. See if I got the right size driver on here. That ought to be close enough. That's gonna go there. This is gonna mount here. Yeah, that's the wrong size Phillips on there. Let's get this one. There we go. And then this one goes over here. With its hardware. These are Metal Gear servos. You can see them there. Been working on a Servo ZLC. What's the ZLC? What's the Servo ZLC? By the way, who's watching Artemis when it starts on Monday? If the weeder is good, what is Artemis? Okay, then we have some pieces here that go on the tops of these included servo pieces. Servo level cube. Is that the one that looks like it's V2.4 inspired? Let's kind of go through there. So this is this long enough to go through all of this? I don't think so. No, how does this hold on? This just goes on the top. Does it get glued on? It's their rare Voron light printer. Oh, okay. So you can get by with a 3-channel radio. Yes, you can. This just ends up getting mixed in with the steering. Oh, the NASA rocket. Oh, okay. That's the Artemis. If they ever break, put in some Savox servos. You can't get gear kits for those servos. There's 0 load on these. I mean, I imagine the arms on the driver will break before the servo breaks. I'll have to look up how they expect these to attach, whether it's glue or longer screws, but for now I'm just going to attach these to not lose them, because that goes like that, and then these pieces go on top, and there's a hole there, so maybe it's just a longer screw, but the included screw isn't going to be long enough, I don't think, to attach. The arms are separate servos, but you just wire them in parallel, so they move at the same time as the steering, as the something. There's a video on it. I'll have to look it up a little more. This goes. Where does this end up going? This ends up going in this piece. So that can stay there. And this is going to go in here, I think. And here, under here. It's got to be over. Need to build a death race for myself. Estimated cost. I would say between $160 and $220. That's kind of a range there. So that does something like that, and then these can run. Depending on how much stuff you already have, what quality of things you buy, that's probably a reasonable guess. I'll throw a screw on here. So $400 when I mess it up and have to restart. It really depends on the motors you pick and the speed controls. That's an estimate using these Pololu motors that I'm using. But the hot thing apparently is to use some regular RC 540 style brushed motors. But then you need 2 speed controls, and it's a little more complicated setup, I think. This is going to go down in here, and then this is this bolt to the front. Not exactly sure how all of this goes together. So what this is, let's see. Four might be a tad too young. Okay, so that piece goes on there. I'm talking about this piece. I don't like how this model is set up. This model is very frustrating to do. So that piece bolts to the front, and then the front frame, how does it bolt on? Does it just sit there? Okay, let's bolt that piece to the front. Is the 6mm shot for the bludger? It is solid. I bought a solid tube anyway. I bought a solid rod, not a solid tube. Okay, this goes on here. So I can't use 2 540 brushless that I have on here. There's something about the brushless get hot. When you use a 540 style, you need to buy some gearboxes for them. I'm going to use the heat gun to get rid of the stress marks on this part. I think my noise canceling takes care of this real well. There we go. Solid tube sounds like something that's next to the immovable object shelf. Yes. The canceling does its job. Awesome. Okay. So that bolts to there. I know that goes like that. And this is going to go something like this, but I'm not sure how everything kind of ties together because there aren't any other holes here for mounting this. There's this spacer that goes on here. So that spacer goes on there and protects the servo arms. And this bolts to the top of that And there's some, so these guys go on here, these printed parts. And then there's a couple of this little rack and pinion setup. So if this slides in here, and this goes on top, when that servo moves, it moves this rack and pinion piece to move the arms. So when that goes on there, and that goes on there, then this goes over the whole thing. And those don't actually fit through there. Oh, I've got it backwards. What is this? Oh, maybe I've got these completely backwards. These go here and here. That goes like that. Like that. And then these go very tightly there. And then these probably need to be cleaned up so that they move well. And that bolts together on there. Any reinforcement of the wheel drives like carbon fiber ABS or anything? No, everything here is just Hatchbox black ABS that I had. I had a fresh roll of, so I did everything in Hatchbox black ABS just because I wanted to get a feel for the build, and then I'll swap out parts that I want to change color on. You should turn the heater on when using. The heater was on. Do you think you can beat Joel's botch, which is drowned in 3D gloop? I don't know. I'm not picking the ideal material to begin with ABS for this, I think. So we'll see. I'm still a little puzzled on how this all assembles. So that goes there, and that's back there, but where does the rest of this go? I'm gonna let all that fall out. Does this snap onto the front? The front fell off. It shouldn't have fallen off. No, I don't think so. Let's see. Let's look at the CAD. Hey, Andrew. Sorry about a seemingly noob question, but when shutting down a Voron, or most clipper machines, when the Pi is shut down, is it normal for the electronics fans to ramp up? It could be. They'd go into their safe, whatever, the safe mode or whatever. It can be. Some of my machines do that, some of them don't. I think it depends on how the controller's set up. So that goes there. What goes between that and that? So we have this piece, which is the front. Then we have this piece, which is the rear. And it looks like they butt up to each other, and there's some holes here. But the problem I'm seeing, let's see if we can show here. When these two holes here line up, Doesn't come anywhere close to lining up. There's a gap there. I don't know what I'm missing. Those line up, that doesn't. And should it, is the question. Should this go all the way back to that? I'm not sure. Flip the rear part. Oh, shit. I would have figured it out eventually. We'll just assume that never happened. We will just assume that never happened. I would have figured that out. Oops. Thanks, Killaprint. That's quite some ABS shrinkage. Okay, so if that bolts on there, how does this actually stay in place? There are screws there. Is there a bracket? Is that what this is? I think that goes there. So I think these brackets go on here and bolt to the bottom here. So let's try that. Let's see what this looks like. Some shorter screws. More coffee, yes. We'll pretend that never happened. I'm going to bolt these little brackets to here. No, I think it's these brackets that hold everything together. And then those brackets bolt into these two holes here. So yeah, that looks all correct. Oh, I need longer screws. What size screws are those? Let's go 10, since that seems to be what they're fond of. Yep. Okay. Now, just hold those back. There we go. That all lines up now. That goes there. Hey, that's looking like a thing. I don't need those. They seem to be fond of the flathead cap screws. Yes. Very. Let's bolt this thing on here. Back now, what did I miss? Not me getting a part backwards and feeling a little dumb for it. You didn't miss that. This is some of my print quality issues I need to figure out. I think I have some cooling or speed or something on this angled part, because this prints like that. This part prints like that. Yeah, this is ow, I pinched my finger on the track. That's why those plates go here, which I haven't printed yet. But that goes there. Now, if we take this off, can I actually thread this on? Is there a part 2 of the instructions somewhere? Not that I saw. Does anybody know what the typical threads are for these servos? What is that fastener? Because it's not a long enough screw to go through both. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to do here. What is TPU on that bot right now? Just the tracks. Just the tracks are TPU. Does anybody know what thread these little screws are? Yes. Keep the soft bleedy bits away from the pinchy bits. Yeah, that pinches right there. I'm gonna let Charlie out. Oh. Looks M2, but can't remember. If it's M2, I'm good. Let me see. No, it might be M2.5. I don't think I have anything M2.5 handy. Here's some M2.5s. It's M2.5. How long can I get away with? I need to cut this down. It's M2.5 for anybody that... Oh, some are M2.6. M2.5 seems to thread all the way in, so I think I'm good. Hi, Steve. Can't stay for too long. I'm at a fan expo, but the Death Racer is looking good. Yeah, thanks for being here. Maybe the top cover is supposed to keep it in place. It could be. Let's give that a try. Let's put this one back in. Now, these need to be centered and everything. Need to be powered on and find the center point of the servos. But right now, we're just test fitting everything. I am going to sand these a little bit, file these. Dragon screws, yep. But that's what I have. I bought these for something. Okay, if this goes here, and actually let's do a little sanding on this surface just to make sure we're good. The CAD doesn't have fasteners in it. The CAD does not have fasteners, so it's hard to tell what I'm supposed to do. That goes like that. Those go like that, and then if we just set these on, it's all the way. Oops. Murdered out Death Racer. So I'm probably going to reprint some parts in red. Voron red. I think that's the plan anyway. Voron red and let's do that. And black. And then this piece goes on top. I've got some, I'm gonna have to reprint that. It's a little thin there. Zombie hedgehog. You might want to check the filament. I know there's a thing for filament on this. Maybe that does just hold on there, get sandwiched in there, because those aren't going anywhere. So I think that's probably correct. We're gonna play the Let Charlie In game. There we go. That doesn't seem right. That tightens down quite a bit. Let's check something. Let's check the CAD. Make sure to use some Trident logos. There isn't a Trident logo. Intentionally. Let's look at what this looks like. Let's find this piece and let's so this shows those sitting flush with the top of this. Those two are sitting flush, and on mine they very much are not sitting flush. Why? Hi, Charlie. What, no bed to lay on? Is Polymaker doing a current sale right now? I know Polymaker has offered anybody going to Earth that's building a Death Racer, I don't know if it's still valid or not, but I know they've offered to sponsor the filament. I have so much filament here, I've got stuff, so I didn't need to do that. Okay. I've got something going on here, and I'll try to get a better view of what's going on. When these go on, they're sitting above the level of this, and they should sit at the level. Should these, so let's see something, should these go under? Where are we at? Good deal going on. Not for you, for the awesome members in the community. Be interested if I didn't get 10 kilograms of ABS from 3D Print Life this week. Yeah, I've got enough. I didn't feel like I needed to do that. Okay, if we look at this, do I have these backwards? What if what else is modeled in here? Left servo horn. Nope, the whole thing isn't modeled. What are you doing, Charlie? I don't know what he's doing. Where he thinks he's going. Come on, cat. Ugh. There you go. I do need a lockout on the button thing. This doesn't sit low enough. Look at the servo arms, they might not be flush with the top part. Well, all the servo arm stuff seems to be... Servos are installed as the manual. It seems to be all in this piece. That goes on there, but none of that sits low enough. And why not? It's too high. It's too high on the whole thing. See this? That surface there is higher than this surface, and it should be about flush. But the stack up there, it's not. If I pull this off, it's not really sticking up. It's not that. That's not the enough for it to make the difference. May need a spacer between the servo mount and the servo. That's tight. So that's as tight as that gets. There's no flipping it around. And this isn't set up to be the servo on its own. I mean, this would work if I pulled this off. And pulled is the lower lever even in the cat? It's not. If I just put this on here and tightened it to the servo, it would be fine. Just like that. Maybe that's what it does. Maybe it's not supposed to be a fixed, but there's a lot of opportunity for that to slip. Maybe it doesn't use the horn. Is the servo mounted from the top? It is. But it would be way off if it was mounted the other way. See, that doesn't even grab on the... now it does. Something going on. It is a servo saver, yes. Maybe that's what it is. Let's go with it. If we do that, then this can go on here, and that can then... Where'd my tools go? There we go. Then this will tighten down. It's not going to move much, so maybe that is the intent. Just seemed odd to me. Oops. Did you say the horn wasn't on the CAD? The horn is not in the CAD. Maybe it is just basically a servo saver. Feels a bit odd, this too, and it has the horn profile inside it and all. Yeah, I agree. Sam Prentice has some more detailed assembly videos on this. I'll have to go watch those later and see what I'm missing. I think that just glues onto the front. What else do I have? I think we're almost to the parts that I printed. Okay, so let's go a little more. Let's look at the electronics and stuff. Let's look at the other things. We're gonna go about a little over 20 more minutes. Hey, Poity. We're gonna go about another 20 minutes. Keep the right out of 3-hour stream today. But let's look at some of the other components, the electronics, and start looking at where stuff goes in the racer. So I've got electronics. This can come off, and then we have this compartment here. Yeah, that works. We have this compartment here for things like, and I'm not sure this is the battery I'm going to end up running, but it's a 3S 2250. This is one of the batteries Sam had in his videos. That goes in the end here. Plug in here, and then we have the, I didn't want to do that. I don't like ripping the box. This Citron dual channel speed controller, RC receiver and stuff. It goes, will you focus? 7 to 30 volt. I have some mounts. This guy. This is the MDD RC10. This fits in here. All this stuff just kind of, I don't think there's any mounting for things. It just kind of sits in this cavity. So I have motor wires coming from each side, plugged into the two outputs here. Power goes to the input, and I'll put an XT60 on there to plug into the battery. And then a bunch of wires for servos, and then that's it. There's a receiver in here. I haven't even opened this. Are we still going? Sky radio with some extra channels. It is relatively cheap feeling, but it was inexpensive, so that's good. Sammy's using horns, little drip ones, he said. Okay, little drip ones. I'll have to check that out. So this is the receiver, 6-channel receiver with the pairing loop, plug in for pairing it. And that'll go in here somewhere. Maybe I can do some VHB or something to get things in fixed locations. Look up more information on here. What kind of batteries do I need for this? Just 4 AA's. Fly Sky is cost effective and works fine. Yeah, absolutely. It's light, you know. The controls feel fine. There's a nice little loop here so you can have a strap. And probably a whole menu system for setting it up. At 2420, let's check this out. We've got, I've been beating in several races in 1/10 by people using Fly Sky versus my Gucci Futaba. Yeah. Let's see if we can find that video. Agreed, the GT3C car ones are good enough. I can't justify the $100+ one for probably feel nicer. Yeah. Let's go Sam Prentice. Death Racers. Oops. Sure. The real Sam Prentice.
You are watching.
I'm going to pause that. I don't know if you guys will hear this or not. There is an assembly. I think it's this one. Nope, not that one. The future, this one. And you say at 24:10. $24.20. You heard it? Did he have, he has arms on there, but no screws, but he has arms on there. And then those just set on top. Oh, that's weird. YouTubeception. I'll figure that out. I think we're close We're just going through other parts of the build now. I'll look at that closer and figure out what's going on. I thought I was using the same servos as he is. I'll probably print the 6mm rod mainframe too for strength. As you can see, a little bit of extra flex there that we might be able to get rid of. So, DMR style. Yeah, I don't know what I can do here. Maybe I can shorten the mounts for the servos to make up that difference. It needs to be, it's the opposite. So let's look at this. If we take these off, it's too much torque. And I might not have exactly the same servos too, so. Okay, so all this comes off. This comes off. So the way these are mounted are to the top of this piece, which means I'd have to remodel that and make those mounting tabs thinner to move the servos down. Instead of spacing them up, we want to move them down. Is that easy to see? So I'm pretty sure he top mounted the servos just like I did. I'm trying to see it in the video right now. Yeah, servos are top mounted as well. Let's see something. Let's see if I can find another link here. Give me just a second. I got something to find. Ah, there we go. So this is the bomb that I went off of. This is Sam's bomb. Let's see if they're the same model number as the servos I have. So MG90 servos. Let's do the link. It's off of Banggood. MG90S. What do I have? Yeah. So that's the generic servo they're using. It looks like the same servo. It's common with the Metal Gear versions to mount them from the bottom. Yeah, but I'm using the same servos. That's what I'm puzzled with. I'm using the same servos as him. He's mounting from the top. In the CAD, there isn't a spacer between the mating surface's bottom and where it sits on the body. No. Because that doesn't work. The way it's assembled, that doesn't work. Can the servos mount from the bottom? They could, but then I would need to use a big spacer to get everything to line up. Here. These already isn't enough space there to move it down and still have room for it to move. It'll be an easy fix. I have CAD, so here, let's do it. Let's look at this. Oops. Oh, what happened? I've had this happen twice now. Are we back? Are we back? Are we back? There we are. This camera goes to sleep only in this setup. I don't know why. Let's go to the CAD. I should be able to pick this piece right here. Find it in the browser. Let's isolate it. That's this guy. So all I need to do is grab these surfaces and extrude those the -2 millimeters or so that I don't need. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna measure it. So if we go here and I take the servo horn off and put this one back on. And we put the guide back in. So we're gonna do this. And then if I set this on here, that distance between here and here looks to be, I mean, it's about 2.5 millimeters. I'll get a better measurement on that, but if I cut that piece just that amount and reprint it, we'll be good. So, good to know. I think that's what I'll do. Then everything will line up. So what do you think? Was this okay? Was this a good member stream? I mean, the intent was never to finish this, make it run today. And I probably won't finish it and make it run building it on camera, but I'll definitely share. This was just, I need to get this built, and this was a good time to just kind of play with it. Does the printed part fit onto the horn if you don't put the screw in first? No, the screw isn't having any real impact on how it fits. Sam puts a servo horn screw after the printed piece though. The problem with that, I think, is I'm dropping everything on the ground. The problem with that is when all of this goes together, the bottom of this doesn't have anywhere for that screw to go. So when this comes on here, there isn't space. Even as it is, this is rocking on that screw head. So I don't think it'll fit even when I drop it. I think the idea is this gets sandwiched in there, so this doesn't actually have to be fastened on there. It just floats. Or it would be okay to float. I'll look at his videos closer. I'll look at the videos closer. So, yep. Tomorrow, 90% sure we're doing solid fork. 90% sure we're moving back to solid fork. If some things don't fall into place, then I may continue the Voron kit build. But my preference is to finish solid fork and then return to the Voron kit. So stay tuned. I'll post the scheduled stream for which one we're doing tomorrow, and I'll find out once the UPS package gets here today. If it doesn't show up for some reason, we're definitely doing Voron kit. But if it does show up, we should be doing solid fork. Yeah, the whole servo is definitely too high. I have everything I need for Voron kit. I got the extruder gear. Max sent me one. So I'm good for parts. What I'd like to do before I hit Voron kit again is take the frame apart and fix whatever Misumi did on that frame to make it not square. So, but we'll see. So I think we're going to call it. I want to thank everybody here, everybody who's watching this after, for being members. This is definitely what's allowed me to buy a new camera, buy a nice light that we're going to show off tomorrow, assuming it gets here. So I definitely appreciate it. It just helps enable my building addiction. So everything, it's going back into the stream. I hope I'm showing that. So did you see Nero had your missing gear? I didn't. I haven't been watching Nero's streams on that at all. I haven't been wanting to be spoiled. I wanted to have a fresh look at the build. So I will watch his builds later after I'm done with mine. But I've been staying away before that. So, but that's funny if he had the missing gear. But I have one now. We're good. So let's give a quick wake up Charlie, and look at this. Oops, I want it. This one. Look at this nice clear camera shot. And I will see everybody tomorrow. Thanks again. Have a good rest of your days. Bye.